and
Oddworld.
Hey oddballs, I'm your host Jensen, and welcome to episode 96. I just had a thought that I am almost to 100 episodes, and to me, for some reason, that's wild in my mind. So if you've been with me for the whole 100, thank you. And honestly, if you're just now tuning in, thank you. But anyhow, I'm kind of sad because you're going to learn about the last Chinese Zodiac that I haven't covered yet. But don't worry, because I have other fun things in store to replace it. But I'm really sad because I've really enjoyed the Chinese Zodiac. But enough moping around. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Zodiac.
I'm into that.
Today's Chinese Zodiac is the monkey. The monkey is a clever, lively, and witty animal. Because of a lot of similarities to humans, the monkey is admired by people in many cultures, and the Chinese culture is no exception. In traditional Chinese culture, monkey has been considered a mascot to pray for the luck of official career, as it pronounces the same with the Chinese character for Marquis Hu in ancient times. In some west areas of China, monkey is also believed to be able to protect little babies from evil spirits. The most famous monkey in China is the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, born from a stone, who is intelligent, brave, rebellious, and talented. Some similar personalities may present people born in the year of the monkey, who tend to be lively, quick-witted, righteous, brave, and humorous. You are a monkey if you are born in 2028, 2016, 2004, 1992, 1980, 1968, 1956, 1944, 1932, and 1920. And if you want to figure out anything past 2028, you add 12 and just keep adding 12. And if you want to figure anything out before 1920, you minus 12 and just keep minusing 12. What a good zodiac sign to end on. Actually, both of my parents are monkeys, so shout out. But anyhow, don't be sad, even though I am kind of sad because it was really fun. But I have something else up my sleeve to replace the zodiac. And don't you worry, we still have birthdays at random, of course. And also, I still have the mythical creatures. That list is so long, so those will still be popping up. But I have something else that is fun that will replace the Chinese Zodiac. So get ready for it. And until then, we're going to move on to stories.
This comes from Sailors H33P on Reddit.
I keep hearing my dead cat's meow. I had to put her down due to kidney failure. It's been 6 weeks already. She was my soulmate, and she used to communicate a lot with me. When she died, I had a couple of dreams that she was sleeping with me, like she used to, and it felt nice. But then, after a while, I started to hear her meow around the house. I do have 2 other cats, but their meow is vastly different from hers. I can tell her tone. Even their footsteps wait. If you're a cat owner, you know what I'm talking about. They are never the same. I thought it was just the stress because it was a terrible month prior to her passing. But then I started to wake up to the sound. It is so real and so vivid. Today I woke up to the sound she used to make when she'd sit by the window while watching the birds. I live in an apartment. There's no way it's a stray. I woke up from the sound, looked around to see if any of my other cats were there, saw none of them, laid down, and I heard it again. I was fully awake. The last time I woke up to the sound of her asking to leave the room, I even went to open the door to see if it was one of my cats. It wasn't. There was nothing there. Am I going crazy, or is this a normal thing? When my dog died earlier this year, I also heard the sound of his deep breath and his tail wagging. But it was just that, and then nothing else. I kind of feel like I'm being mocked by it. It makes me want to cry. Okay, well, that makes me want to cry. Hold on, let me hold back some tears real quick. For you guys, this was literally just a split second, but for me, I had to gather myself together a little bit. It's been a while since I read this story. And yeah, it got me because I was a cat owner. When I lived with my parents, always cats in the house. She still has a cat in the house. And I completely understand what this person means when they say they quite literally understand the different sounds of their meow and the weight of their footsteps. And it's really just like having a whole human, and you know the different things that they do. That's kind of the best way to explain it, is just to compare it to knowing how different humans act and their voices. I mean, it's just how it is. But this is really sad, and I don't think you're crazy, for one. But I think it's really sweet that the cat is sticking around. It's also kind of really freaking sad. I mean, honestly. But I think it's interesting too, and I'm also so sorry that all of this happened to you, but I think it's interesting that your dog passed away too, but you heard your dog as well. So that's kind of interesting. It's not as intense as your cat, but the fact that you heard your dog and now you're hearing your cat, that's just wild. It just makes me wonder if maybe like I don't know, maybe your pets like really have a super strong connection to you, or you as a person just need that like validation of like, you just need that one more breath and tail wagging. You need the last, like hearing your cat make that little, I mean, I have cats and I don't know if they make kind of similar noises, but that little chipper noise. I don't know how to explain it other than that. But yeah, maybe you just needed that because you were already having a terrible month, and so your cat just kind of hung around because it was kind of a lot, you know? I don't know. I'm just trying to make it make sense, but I mean, for sure animals can hang around. It happens way more often than not. So don't feel crazy. If anything, you can embrace it. You know, at some point you can tell her like, hey, I love that you stayed around for this long, but I think it's time for you to go. You know, like when you're ready for that. It's not something that, of course, you have to do or that anybody has to do. But if it ever bothers you, or if you're just like, okay, I think I can let go, then, you know, I might cry again. If any of you guys can relate to this story, let me know. And before I bawl my eyes out, I'm gonna move on to the next story.
This comes from C-Fig-5649 on Reddit.
Our library is closed for construction, and I'm using an empty classroom to provide reference help. A couple days ago, I was hanging out on my regular shift. One I've done all semester with no issue. It's in a building that's probably in the late 1920s and has old-style radiators in the rooms for heat. At the end of the semester, facilities turn off the boiler and the pipes start groaning and banging as they cool down. Okay, haha, I think. It's like pipes in Ghostwatch. How funny. As my shift winds down and it's turning to dusk, I realize the place has gone quiet. As I'm sitting there at my desk, my rolling chair starts to roll backwards. Like straight backwards with some pressure. At first I wondered if I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it. And I feel something on the back of my neck. Something is pulling the chair backwards. I scoot back in, swivel around, and yell, "Oh, no, this is not okay," while swiping my arms. I could not have grabbed my bag and laptop any quicker and noped right out of there. Chills down my spine as I hurry down the hallway and into my car. Oh, and the classroom number? 113. I never felt in danger, just something there. Well, this dried up my tears really quick from the last story. Yeah, that is so spooky. And I'm also recording this at night. And I always put myself in the position of the person whenever I read the stories. And it just makes it that much creepier. I don't know if you guys do that at all. Or even if while you're listening, if you put yourself in their position. But if you don't, you should try it sometime because it makes it spookier. But all of that aside, I think this is terrifying because imagine just sitting there and, giggling haha, whatever. This is just kind of spooky, And then all of a sudden your chair that you're sitting in just flies backwards. Just picture that. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And quite honestly, if my chair in the office that I'm in right now slid across the floor with force, I really don't know what I would do, but it would really freak me out. Because we have carpet and this chair is very hard to slide. So yeah, I can't even imagine. Maybe this ghost was taking them for a ride. I doubt it. It kind of just sounds like a ghost going, "Oh yeah, ha ha, you think it's not spooky? Let me show you something." That's kind of what it sounds like. And if that's how it is, I like a ghost with a sense of humor. I know, I'm sure obviously it was very terrifying for this person, but I gotta look at it at all the different angles, okay? I gotta just do that, okay? It makes it less spooky. It makes it less spooky when you think of a ghost just on the other side. A spirit just pulls your chair because they just think they're being funny to just be like, "Oh, haha, let me prove a point here. You want to get scared? Because I will do it." But if you guys have a story like either story today, let me know, or any paranormal story in general, let me know. I actually just created a whole new tab on my website. It's an oddworldafterall.com, and you can submit stories there. So much easier. You don't have to track me down on one of my other platforms or write it to me in an email. Just literally go to my website, click the story submission, and boom, I got you. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and well, it's an odd world after all. Oddballs, thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave 5 stars or thumbs up on whatever podcast platform you listen on. If you have any comments for this episode, comment below or head over to Instagram and comment on this episode's preview. To submit a story or for more information, go to itsanoddworldafterall.com.